by achieving this peace, then we can finally prevent any more 3 feet Palestine from the river to the sea, which means killing all Jews in the whole world. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed. Randy, do you want to go next?
By the way, just so you know, Iran said that the 100 drones that they sent were actually just tests, and they're just testing the air system. I guess they learned that it's work. Right. So we passed that test. Also, French. I'm getting.
Why waste them? Why send another 100?
Yeah, I'm also getting reports on Twitter that France has already surrendered. All right. Okay, Aziz.
Actually, I think it's Hermes. Is it Hermes' turn?
Did the order get messed up with some of these
T-shirts? The new barrel orders in the song?
Aziz?
Yeah.
I think you're next unless the order got messed up, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was after Randy. I'm not sure if Randy wanted to speak.
Yeah, I tried to ask Randy like 5 times, but he's not here, so he can go.
Yeah, he can speak after me if he comes from this one. I was just going to push back a little. Obviously, Dave's talking about, when I look at this, obviously, this
Are you asking Dave a question? Just clarify that beforehand. Or are you just making a statement?
Yes, I'm just responding to...
Okay, he's just responding. So, Dave, you're not going to respond to him, you're just making a statement. No, yeah, because, sorry, Dave was new, so I'm just going to give him the rule. You can ask someone a question if you want, and you have to go back quickly to back and forths, like no rambling, but he's not asking you a question. He's just making a statement.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, Dave is referencing the threat of Islam. Obviously, he's alluding to some form of extremist threat from the east to the west. But, I think when you look at the liberation of the Iranians, this is going to echo the liberation of the Iraqis and the liberation. I mean, we've seen liberations before. I don't think this will be, there won't be like a convention after where the remaining 85% who are in favor of American Israel, they're going to have some kind of, Comic-Con where they just agree. Like it will be a failed state once they leave. And this has been a legacy of the military-industrial complex. So this is not a new thing. So this is the underlying issue here is that war has to continue. War is incentivized, and Davis sort of never alluded to the fact that war is, the war hawks in America incentivize war. He tends to ignore that harsh reality. But that's equally problematic as the extremism that he's alluding to. These are equal ends of it. They're equal extremes, but on the opposite ends of the spectrum. They're equal extremes. And so, like I said, war is incentivized. Today will be Iran, tomorrow will be China or Russia. I think the main threat to our peace is the profiteers for more. That seems to be brushed under the carpet by Dave's statement as well. And to make a threat a monolith, right? To say, well, extremism from this particular place is dangerous. No, extremism from all places is dangerous. And so the framing in which Dave was giving is as harmful and dangerous as what he's alluding to is the main threat. The idea of creating the dangerous other, the monolith. So that's what I wanted to do.
Ariels.
I think Dave should allow to respond though.
30 seconds. 30 seconds to respond, please. Dave, are you there?
Me? Oh, yeah, sure. So you see, I'm talking about peace, right? Middle East peace. And I also want to add that Trump, in his inauguration speech, he wants peace. Whereas Aziz is talking about war must continue. And he's promoting war must continue, right? So that is the whole premise of what I think Muslims fear most, that the war will stop. In order for war to stop, you will have to disband from the river to the sea, Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea.
Wait, can you explain that? Because you're talking. Wait, I just want to be clear because I really don't understand you. Can you stop talking in metaphors and just be clear? Don't use any like rhetoric or slogans. Just be very clear. Don't say to the river, to the sea. Say Israel. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm losing your analogies. I know English isn't your first language, but that's okay. But analogies are losing us because no one can really follow you.
Yeah, the main thing is I want to push for peace. I support of peace. And I hope Trump stick to his inauguration speech that he wants peace as well, right? So, and what we hear from Aziz is war must continue.
I'm not sure if we're hearing that, but I'll let Aziz respond. I guess you guys are having a conversation.
Yes.
But try to keep it brief. And like to the point, don't use flowery language. Like try to be as precise as possible. Because that way, like the conversation can flow. So, Dave, did I cut you off, or did you have more to say?
No, I just say.
Okay, Aziz, do you want to respond to him?
Yeah, just briefly. I mean, I think what I was saying, that is a success of I'm trying to look at the core of the issues that lead to us using an unbelievable concept of war. And yet, when war is incentivized, like I said, like we can talk about the threat of Islam or extremism in general, specifically these entities that these organizations, these terrorist organizations are propped up by. Sometimes Russia, we could be anyone, but ultimately these are just pawns in a greater game. And again, when it comes to liberation of the Iranians, which he was alluding to, I don't believe the legacy of liberation America's displayed up until this point has been that successful. I can't think of a successful American liberation, and so apart from their own, and you can argue that as well. But yeah, so that's kind of the point I was making. That kind of ignoring the
You haven't heard of the concentration camps in Europe, Aziz?
What about the Arab Spring?
There's a few. I'm sure you can name a few.
May I officially after?
Yes, there's a few, but typically, the approval rates after an American war just go down the drain, right?
Aziz, I just want to call you out a little bit because you asked why doesn't Israel get involved, and I actually was going to bring up this American point that whenever America gets involved, they get bad press for it. There's a lot of things that they participated that we don't even know about, you know. But yeah, big countries cannot participate anymore because they get bad press and it's just not worth it. It's better for their countries. But you're holding now a double standard again, where you're saying that America shouldn't, but then you're saying that Israel should get involved with another sovereignty of a nation.
Well,
And it's their fault that Hamas is somehow a dictatorship or whatever we want to call it.
Well, I think if you have a threat via proximity, then your obligation is to defend your borders. I understand. So I think with Israel and Gaza and stuff, they have a proximity issue, right? But with Europe and England, they have the luxury of being across the pond, right, so to speak. And so they should take a more diplomatic, or at least attempt a diplomatic. What I'm saying is, where David alluded to the fact that the extremist Islamists are 400, well, I'm sort of simply arguing that there are 400 men and women on both sides, and that's war. The core of war hunger is not being addressed. He's simply addressing war hunger on one side. That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of a bit of a disingenuous
phrase. Just wrap it up in that quick thing, because I think you went a little bit over the place and I lost your point. You can wrap up a sentence in this.
Yeah, David alluded to the fact that they are war hungry Islamists, right? And I'm rebuttaling by saying that he's conveniently framing and ignoring the fact that there's cohorts in America that are incentivized to fight wars.
That's fair. Are you saying that, or did you just leave out, for some reason, the other side?
I mean, if we want peace, right? So how would the Arab nation in Middle East want to achieve peace? And right now, Jordan has banned the Muslim Brotherhood, right? And
just respond to this question. Try not to get too much into semantics. It's not necessarily not need a history lesson. Everybody's had one.
Yes.
And we're
This main point is, if felt like I targeting the extreme Islamist. What I'm just saying that I'm not the one who's saying it, because this is actually happening, right? In order for peace, the Arab nation has to ban the extreme Islamic, which is Muslim Brotherhood. So I'm not. This is not my opinion. This is also the Muslim Arab nation who want peace. So the whole objective, if you want peace, we have to get rid of Muslim Brotherhood. Period.
Okay, cool.
May I jump?
Wait, who asked if they can jump in? Yeah.
No, sure.
Okay. Torben, have you spoke yet?
What round are we on? I've gone twice.
Okay, so Asaf is new. Let's let her talk. We'll let the new people talk, and then we'll go around again.
This morning I heard about the news that Israel did attacks on Iran, but I've not understand what instigated that.
I'm happy to answer that one. Iran was told that if they did not agree not to enrich uranium to weapon-grade levels, they would be faced with overwhelming force. They were told this by the President of the United States. They didn't sign the deal. The President warned them, gave them numerous opportunities. They were
There was a time question.
Yeah, thank you. They were given numerous opportunities. Because Iranians are known for just delaying and fake negotiating and bad faith and not being trustworthy, at some point, the United States and Israel agreed to take out their nuclear facilities. That's why they were attacked by Israel as a representative of the Western world civilization, which has agreed not to allow a jihadist terrorist state to obtain a nuclear weapon.
Okay, what I have to say on that is Iran is not a jihadist terrorist state. I think Iran is probably if Israel were to come on good terms with Iran, they would find that he's probably one of the peaceful, because they really are not like the Sunni extremist Islam. And I think for America and Israel to think that they can dictate what warfare weapons that another sovereign country can build really shows who the bullies and the war hungry are.
So, Asta, I'm going to respond to this. Let me just respond to this. Asta, you made a statement that is based on zero fact. Wait, let me finish. The people in Iran would not agree with you. The people who ran away from Iran that I've met, had conversations with, would not agree with you. That is clearly a false statement. Something that we are doing here is we're not saying anything false. You can say an opinion if you'd like, but we're being respectful here, and we're trying not to blatantly say something that is false and propaganda-ish. They identified as an Islamic regime, and you can ChatGPT this. This is not going to be discussion. It doesn't need to be discussed. You can simply do your own research. All right. Should we move on to the next thing?
My next question is
May I respond?
let me ask
So I'm going to get into queue.
what about if another country decided also, as a sovereign independent country, we want to have weapons of warfare, just like America has, just like Israel has.
Okay, let's not even respond to this.
So what about if we were able to do that? You've got to bomb them as well.
Yes, sir.
There are laws and rules about this. You can research that as well. It's obvious that you didn't come in with even trying to do any research, and you're trying to provoke to get attention. But if you'd like, again, we'll come around to you. But yeah, you're not making any sense whatsoever. All right, Jack.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak as, kind of disrespectfully as other people have about all the Muslims and terrorists or whatever. I'll just say that there's an extremist government in Israel right now who is not afraid to start a new war with Iran or any of its neighbors due to security justifications or whatnot. We're seeing that happen. I think Netanyahu is trying to save his legacy from the failure of October 7th. And he's starting this war to get rid of Iran's nuclear weapons and enrichment and the prospect of nuclear weapons. The idea that the Sunni world is the terrorist world is crazy. I don't know why that lady said that. But this isn't really about terrorism. If it was, the United States wouldn't be so buddy-buddy with Qatar right now. So, which does fund and sponsor terrorism in different places all over the world. And so I don't believe that's the principle to this whole thing. I think it more has to do with Netanyahu capitalizing on the failed negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. And we're seeing the response from that. But I don't think Iran's response is necessarily just going to be those 100 drones. I'm sure they just sent them as a small response, but not to use their ballistic missiles until later. So Netanyahu or the Israelis say that this operation is going to go on for 2 weeks. So I'm expecting Iran to attack Israel a lot more harshly in the next 2 weeks, and we'll see how Israel and the U.S. and all their allies are able to defend. But I don't think Netanyahu is going to be successful. He's going to be successful in maybe taking out the nuclear threat for now, but the regime is not going to fall from this. These guys, you got to imagine, if you think Hamas is like radical and diehard kind of people, they haven't surrendered, and it's been almost 2 years, and Gaza's pretty much a flat wasteland right now. Iran and this regime, I think, has the same mentality, and that they're not going to surrender either. So the people who have hopes of like, oh, we're going to have liberation and all this stuff, I don't really buy into that. We'll see. But yeah, it doesn't seem like this is the peaceful route necessarily to start a war. So that's the thing.
They have good commanders and commanders are dead. They're not going to have to just host surrender. They'll just get
It's a bit hard to hear you, Ariel.
No, it's not good yet.
It's very muffled.
All right, so Jack, one, if anybody said that all Muslims are extremists, that's a weird statement, and if I heard it, I would have condemned it, which again, it doesn't mean
He said
anything.
we all want war. Like, he said all the Muslims want war. So it's
I think he was talking about
Nobody said that.
that wanted
Dave
war,
said it.
but
Dave said it. Aziz.
but I didn't really understand Dave so well. So Dave, is that what you said? That all Muslims want war?
I just say that.
Dave, it's a yes or no. Dave,
No,
it's a yes or no. Okay, and then you can clarify. What's that?
No,
Okay.
I say no. Not all Muslims are extremists, because I think I choose to believe 80% like to be peaceful. Is the troublemaker 15-20% that are the extremists, and the Muslims themselves know about that. Period.
Okay, cool. Official sources say it's 30%, but that's cool. I'm being moderate.
Do the Twitter quote.
What's that?
Do the Twitter quote, Andy. The line that Trump said about the commanders.
Oh, Ariel, you're back. We can hear you.
Yeah. Do you have the quote, that President Trump's quote from Twitter?
Yeah, I actually agree more with what Jack is saying than disagree. They're a big country.
See, the problem with what Jack is saying is this is a pre-existing conflict. Do you know how many times Israel has bombed Iranian shipments in Syria over the past couple of years? It's not like conflict ever, just starts. It's always pre-existing. So this preemptive strike was absolutely a necessity, and it takes an act of courage.
Yeah. But John, looking forward, does it go on and they keep fighting and they negotiate a settlement, or is this regime?
This is about taking out the intelligence.
If this is regime change, this is the most successful attack in the history of everything. Okay? You should be expecting this to escalate, or if it does, wow.
If if there's a regime change, it's on the ground. It's the people themselves uprising and formulating their own resistance. It's not going to be an incursion. It's going to be an internal resistance, which it may or may not be likely. Who knows?
And just to be clear, because I just want to clarify my language, I said I agree more with Jack, not on everything. A lot of the things Jackie said, I don't agree with. Like, for example, that this is not a peaceful way, like they shouldn't have attacked or stuff like that. But the facts I do agree with you that this war is going to probably be dragged on. They thought they would succeed with one of those drones. They didn't. They're going to try different things. I really wonder what capabilities they have and what capabilities Israel is not aware of. Because people are wondering, why isn't the October 7th attack happen? Because there's most of the resources is not in Hamas. It's a tiny country. Assad has been spending a lot of resources in other countries, which they've proven by the attacks that they've been doing, which are, like, this will go in the history books. No nations have done such successful attacks like this in history. The Beeper attack, this attack, other attacks that they've done and rescue missions that they've done are just like studied in war books.
The similar bomb at hotel, it's not on for 2 years.
What's that?
Unbelievable story. The bomb that they got Simar's brother inside the Iranian compound was placed under the bed 2 years before the night of his death. That's how much advance time they had on that.
Right. So it makes sense. People keep on saying, "Oh no, they're good they allowed it." No, they just didn't have good intelligence there. They can't do everything. They can drop the ball in some places. I mean, come on.
Well, you mentioned. Okay.
Can I go now?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yes. Yes.
Iran came to the United States under Ahmadinejad before he did the capability, came to New York, came to the United Nations, before the entire world said, we are going to envelop the big Satan in a ball of fire. The big Satan is the United States. That's you and me. And we're going to envelop the little Satan in a ball of fire. The little Satan is Israel. The ball of fire is a nuclear bomb. We have learned through repeated painful lessons to believe our enemies when they talk to us. Iran is the world's largest sponsor of terror. They sponsor the Houthis, which are have been attacking free trade, and in which the United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia have been fighting in Yemen for quite a long time. Recently, the United States bailed out of that one. They're sponsoring terror in Syria. 650,000 Arabs dead in Syria because of Iraq. 350,000 Arabs dead in Yemen because of Iraq. They occupy Lebanon with Hezbollah, an internationally recognized terrorist organization. They sponsored, trained, and armed the October 7th terror attack of Hamas on innocent civilians of little farms in Israel, in Far Gaza envelope. Old ladies, Holocaust survivors, little babies, children, kids dancing at a music festival. This is the soul of evil, the embodiment of the terror state. So defanging them.
Be right back.
Is an act. There were 22 countries beyond Iron Curtain that were liberated thanks to the United States. When Iran says that it is conducting a jihad, we have learned to believe them. A violent attempt to take over the world, make everybody worship the way they do. And the civilized world is not going to stand for it. And Israel's acting on behalf of the civilized world against the forces of violent Shia Islamist jihad.
So I think it's my turn. And then we'll go to the next person. Yeah, I don't understand why this war is so complicated, to be honest. I mean, I sit along in these other rooms because there's a lot of more Arabs. No one here is, grouping together things. And in those rooms, there's a lot of anti-Semitism, a lot of false statements and twisting of facts. And if you just look at today, you look at what's going on, everything is trying to lead towards peace. And as much as I don't believe any war is justified. So when people say, well, this is justified, that's justified, no, both of these are unjustified. And if you want to say one is justified, then the other is justified. But right now, what other options do they have? They're just going to keep on kidnapping people and demanding hostages. They're going to keep on doing these attacks. If you're like, we should negotiate with them. America has a rule, we don't negotiate with terrorism. Israel, for some stupid reason, doesn't have that rule. So every time a person is kidnapped, they held hostage. They need to hold 1,000 people for one person. That's what they did last time when there was a soldier. And it just, why reward people for committing atrocities and videoing it and being glad about it? And you should listen to the recordings on YouTube about the people who participated in these, and it will make your blood curdle. It's not so hard if you're not just listening to the propaganda to look at which nation is actually trying to fight justly and which one just doesn't care for human right. And then also for the people who say, oh, they should just have the state, you think it would turn out any different than what they have right now?
This is not sociopathic. This is not a war crime. You can reframe this in a very negative light, but Netanyahu keeps referring to the line. Look at El Normo's PTR. I've read in a book somewhere that the word Napoleon means a thicket or lion in the thicket. So there's a spirit at play here. And, the people of Israel, Jews around the world, America, everybody is sick and tired of this terrorism. It's a long time coming. And, children have to be punished if they're insolent or they're causing problems. I mean, I'm not a father, but, if you have to discipline your child, to me, this is a discipline operation.
It's not discipline, this is war. That's what it is. It's a war. I don't think it's fair to call this disciplining. No, it's trying to eradicate something. If there's something.
Well, it's a form of conditioning, is what I'm saying.
That's problematic.
I don't think it's problematic. I think everything is a form of conditioning and communication.
Conditioning is a war crime.
Well, either way, this is taking out the intelligence. You can't have a regime change quick enough.
But Iran, this is not. This is doing exactly what they did during the 6 Day War. They understood that if they didn't do this, they would die. This is removing a cancer from your body when the doctor says there's a cancer.
I agree. That's the biggest goal here.
This is not a childhood thing. This is not an education. This is, if you don't do this, this will then, why don't you die? Why don't I die? No, just fucking get in there and get rid of it for me. I'm going to go into the surgery. Steve Jobs, one of the smartest people in the world, he became one of the wealthiest people in the world, if you want to somehow put that together.
Well, if you want to keep going with the analogy, you're going to have to discuss metastasis. Metastasizing.
Right, I'm just going to close with that. But he decided, no, I'm just going to drink some smoothies and shit, and I'm not going to take the surgery, even though he could have had the surgery and lived.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying.
Anderson, I like your analogy that this is a cancer. It's not it's actually a benign cancer when Israel was formed, right? But the Arab nation feel that it is a metastasis, and that's why they think that you have to quickly remove it before it becomes metastasis, right? And the reason why they think it's a metastasis and not a benign cancer, because it's off in their religion. The religion has already foretold them, if ever Israel coming back, it's not going to be benign cancer, but a metastasis cancer. And we will go beyond what is given by United Nations, the boundary of 1948, to beyond it, and they call it Great Israel, right? And that That is the fundamental in the religion, right? In order to fight this religion concept that you have to destroy Israel when it's still in a benign state, rather than it become a metastasis state. That's why they come up with all kind of twisted concept from the Jordan River to the sea, right? So in order to have forever peace in Middle East, then we have to destroy that concept also through religion. That is, Israel is going to achieve the prophecy written easily 3,000 years ago to say that for Middle East to have peace, then Israel has to achieve the prophecy. And yesterday is the first step toward achieving that prophecy. And that's a religion against religion. Poison against poison.
I don't think it's religion against religion. Because again, that makes it more problematic, and then people are also upset at Netanyahu because like, oh, you don't follow other religion, and it's like whatever. It's not as religious as it thinks.
You know,
Israel has done one thing in its history that is improbable. They've survived. They were never supposed to. They were supposed to go there and be wiped out, and they were able. What's that? They were able to avoid that. I thought you were like finished. Yeah. Sorry, they were able to avoid that by doing a preemptive attack on during the 6 Day War when everyone was surrounding them and they understood if we don't do this, people will actually destroy us, and they were still supposed to lose the war, and they didn't. This is not the first attack that they've done in Iran. This is not the second attack. This is not the third attack. This is not the fifth attack. There has been not even this year. Okay, so it's not that crazy of an attack. This is just the most extreme because if you actually look at reports, they're able to have nuclear weapons and they basically admitting to it. So when are they supposed to not do this?
So few things that I find a lot of people make that this is the exact same mistake. This mistake happened because they are just unfamiliar with the history. Zionism began as a totally secular movement. When I say totally secular movement, even by the end, where Zionism became more and more, prevalent or recognized in the Jewish community, they were still 95, out of all of the leaders and out of all of the organizations, 95% were totally secular. Serge Jabotinsky was an anti-theist. David Ben-Gurion was an Ashkenazian, a non-religious person. The Avodah, the Mapai, totally and utterly secular, mostly communist, but they're about socialist. Right? Yeah. Everyone, like Shamir, Yitzhak Rabin. Yeah. Sorry, what thing, David?
Well, you said David. So the first mandate had their own David as well.
What about it? Am I? I don't know.
I was trying to keep that. No, I think they did them out. And no problem. Okay. Yeah, let's give you another example.
Of what? Sorry, I was just wanted to say.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just saying that all of them were secular. And Zionism is secular, was a secular movement. And in some sense, still is. Right now, Israel is a secular church.
Really exploring that, and creating not only, their family are about building things, right? I've been called them all.
Hang on, she will tell us what she is. I have very limited time. I want Chris and Chris and Courtney to talk. By the way, it's my birthday, so it's my birthday. So happy birthday! Oh, thanks. My birthday wish is that no one yells and screams in the last 10 minutes.
No, I'm very excited to see Courtney.
I know. I want you to tell him. Hold on. No, I just shut the room down because I have to save for the actual podcast. Steph will start her room. But okay, anyways, what I just want to say to set this up is, first of all, Courtney, before anything else, since you're excited for the Trinity, is Jesus Christ, the Son of God, died for your sins, rose from the dead, you've asked to be born again and receive eternal life?
Yes.
Would you say you've done that? Great. Okay, so almost.
So I wanted that. Our God. Well, maybe I do and maybe I don't. I just want to clarify whether Iron Man is God.
A God.
Yeah.
Andrew must be God because nobody could have this much time on their hands.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy?
Well, I guess I'm JJ here.
Sounds like, when that question's posed, it's like I've got like a silly stance or something. Right? Like, it's not silly to think that Hercules was a god, right? Considered a god. And Iron Man is not considered a god. It's not controversial, right? It's not silly.
Well, considered by whom?
Just generally. Like, if you think that Iron Man is a god, you think that Hercules is not a god. You'd be like vast minority.
Do you think the analog to Hercules, though, is Jesus? Because, the stories are very similar.
Actually, I do want to hear from this guy. John, are you a Freemason?
No, I'm not a Freemason, but I have read many Freemason books.
Oh, all right.
They'll never tell you any of the cool shit anyway. So boring.
I don't need to tell me that.
The stuff in the books is pretty cool, I gotta say.
Do you remember that guy, JJ? Who? The guy that claimed to be a Freemason?
He'll tell you the cool shit. He'll post a room, right? And then he'll have an audiobook just play in the background.
Oh my god, I'm live streaming an audiobook! Oh my gosh!
No one will join the
No one listens. I'm all by myself listening to an audiobook, live streaming. Then I put it on X and I re-content it, repost it.
His YouTube channel is audiobooks playing in the background while he does yoga or brushes his teeth or some shit.
Okay, so I get it.
I mean, you guys come here and have the dumbest conversations and waste all your time. I mean, you're saying that's what I'm doing. I think that's what you're doing.
I'll be the judge of what a waste is for me.
No, I'll go into this room and listen. That's why I'm saying this, is because it is cool shit in there. If you really wanted it, you could get it.
I think I might remember who you're thinking of about the one guy. There have been a few Freemasons in and out.
Well, what is Freemasonry to you?
It's a fraternity.
It's not just a course about personal development like all these other, self-actualization courses.
It's not an unfair characterization.
Yeah, so what do you think the Bible is? What do you think the New Testament and Old Testament is? It's information to make you intelligent, so hopefully you live a great life. Hopefully you improve yourself and improve the world. That's why I don't understand why you guys do these rooms all day, every day. And why Andrew doesn't change his PTR. He's frozen. He's stuck in time. Andrew, wake up. Are you still in there? It's Friday night. Don't you have a party to go to?
It's Friday morning.
I'm saying it will be Friday night. I mean, if you spend all day long on Clown House, policing debates and conversations, it's a waste of time. This app is a waste of your time. Your life has to be burning down all around you if you spend all of your time here listening to these horrendously stupid conversations.
So why do you do it?
Because I record it and re-platform it on YouTube.
Okay, but why do you do it?
John,
Because I need you to do it. I'm just thanking you in a weird way, criticizing you at the same time.
Yeah, so you waste all your time recording.
I waste all my time listening to you waste your time, so I can waste the people's time on YouTube It's one big circle jerk, and without you, there could be no jerking.
At any rate,
It was funny how I didn't point it out at the time because it was too chaotic with Venus being drunk in the room, but I was talking to Mason about that psychophysical harmony, and it's like, you know how it's like you put your hand on the hot stove and you like pull your hand away? He said like, I jerk my hand off. I didn't say anything, but I was laughing internally.
This is some funny stuff. Unintentionally.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Mason will probably be alright as he becomes a little more mature, you know? Like, he's a sponge, dude. Like, I watched him pick up so much shit in a very short amount of time. Like, he's not a dummy, yeah.
No, he's definitely really smart.
John, what do you think JJ should be doing while being online about?
Oh, there's 100 things you could do other than being here listening or speaking.
100. It's a pretty...
all right. I think the question was not what could I be doing. It was what should I be doing. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I live a pretty non-complicated life. I mean,
Question that you didn't answer, please.
Yeah, I'm going to answer your question. I mean, it's a question of consistency. I mean, go to the gym, lift some weights, do some yoga, breathe, go swimming, go to the beach, read a book, watch a movie, write an essay, use Grok, create social media, create. If you love Jesus and God so much, I encourage you to just create. That would be my best answer for you, is create. I hope you like it.
Well, I sit here and do a lot of creating, to be honest.
Really? Tell us what you're creating other than running your mouth all the time.
You have no idea who I am, do you?
I don't know who you are. Do you know who I am? Vanity of vanities?
Yeah, I mean, do I? I mean, I'm barely ever in here.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know you that well, but I mean, there are people on here who apparently have absolutely nothing happening in their lives because they are here 24/7, 7 days a week, listening or
That would
talking.
be what's happening. Well, that would be what's happening in their lives. Online communication. Are you just making some comment how you don't value that?
I mean, I'm often multitasking and doing other shit while I'm up here.
That's what a lot of people say. But I don't know. I mean, most people, their brains are so fully engaged in this, it's impossible to actually do what you claim you're doing with any real focus. So I don't believe you, Sully.
I have a feeling. Oh, snap.
I really not that hard to use in the background, you know?
Okay, let me demonstrate to you exactly what I mean. I'm going to hit the leave quietly button now and go do something with my life. Have a great day, everybody. Maybe one day you'll find out where God is at.
Fish Melly.
That was my roast. That was my roast of that group.
So I'll say a final thought because we're...
Okay, wait. No, okay, guys, be respectful. Come on, guys. They, according to them, they have tattoos. They're allowed to have tattoos. There's also funny stuff about Sunnism, so let's not go there.
She can handle my shit.
No, I can handle her, but I'm just saying, just like the solid thing that I was like.
Let's not go there. I'm just gonna say that Shiites don't care about how Sunni countries run their Sunni countries and say how, oh look, say Hassan or even Khamenei really talk about Muhammad bin Sulaiman. No, because they don't care. They already know what Jahdeen these people are. And at the end of the day, we can't look at Khamenei and be like, those guys are bad because it's helping Palestine for his own help. No, we can't say that. Like, you're not gonna go help a poor person to look good. Are you gonna go record a poor person? No, but he's gonna record it. It's not him recording the person getting help. You gotta understand that Khamenei is a really good person when it comes to helping his own He doesn't care if there's Sunni, Shia, and he even says this. He even talks about Aisha, and he says if anybody insults her from if you follow my madhabs, and you follow me, you follow my aqidah, you're definitely not going to insult them.
Hey, where is the retaliation? His own country is under fire now. When are they gonna fucking retaliate? That's what I want to know.
His country, yeah, of course, brother. You gotta give it Israel interested. You see what happened? How many missiles they sent during the last year, from October until it ended? Do you see how much missiles they sent? They spent over.
They did nothing.
They did nothing.
You're telling me now. Wait. Hold on.
Wait, you're telling me now. Tel Aviv.
Listen. If Iran sends what it sent after October 7, that would be a pussy move, man. They need to fucking send something real. I'm sorry, man.
You understand who's against Iran right now?
Or you're saying
Middle East, America, and Israel. What is wrong?
Okay, so they're not. So you're answering me saying they're not gonna do anything because
the Muslim countries that signed the Israeli peace treaty fucked us. That's why.
I'm not with the other countries. But if I was Iran, I'd just fuck shit up and
you can't. You know why? It's gonna be the reason why America's gonna be able to go to Iran and do the same thing they did to Saddam.
Yes, let's start World War III. Khalas, what's left? It's there. All these Muslims and all these religious people and all these people that believe in the afterlife. This is now. Like, this is when you act.
We don't end the world. Even if we want to set up nuclear powers right now, Allah's gonna end the world. That's what's gonna happen.
I didn't say end the world.
End the world. Allah.
I said you should be willing to die.
Allah's gonna end the world? When is Allah gonna end the world? I gotta go to the dry cleaner. I gotta go to my favorite restaurant before the world ends because Allah snaps his fingers.
Iran's gonna rule the world.
Allah's gonna end the world. I gotta get to the dry cleaner.
He's going to rule the world. He's a good guy. It's just the American government like to, brainwash you guys, and I guess they're good at it.
Whether he's good or bad is irrelevant right now. I could love the guy and I'll still want him to fucking retaliate to protect his own country. I'm just focused on this point.
So if he sends off a bunch of missiles and he starts attacking the hometowns of Israel, what do you think they're going to do?
They're going to retaliate.
How?
Who?
They think they're just going to send missiles? They're going to clear out all of Iran.
I mean, listen, when it comes to some stuff, I do understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. But I don't care. I don't think they care about us Palestinians and Lebanese. And let's talk about hold on. Let's talk about Saudi Arabia as well. I agree with you.
They give the fatwas. They love Palestine.
Fuck us. Forget about Palestinians.
Let's talk about
for Iran's sake.
Wait, hold on. Let's talk about. Can I fucking finish my fucking sentence before I fucking flip out? What I'm saying is, like, if we think about also Saudi Arabia, I mean, don't let me get started with them. I hate them more than I hate Israel, to be honest. I fucking hate Saudis, and I hate Saudi Arabia more than I hate Israel, honestly. Because Israelis and Jews, yeah, they are our enemies, but the Saudis that are supposed to be with us are literally against us and bombing our fellow Yemenis. We are crying about getting bombed and genocided by the Jews. So why are we sitting there and supporting Saudi Arabia that are bombing Yemen? What the fuck? Make it make sense. And the same Sunni Muslims that are crying about Bashar al-Assad being disgusting and filthy. You are the same people who support Saddam Hussein. So don't fucking talk shit and be hypocrite, okay?
Perfect. This is the energy I need. We can't see the
You're also influenced and brainwashed by the other country too.
I'm the Quran now. You think I used to like these guys?
No, I'm talking about you're brainwashed by. Look at your picture.
You think I used to shit talk these guys right here in this picture? I used to shit talk.
We don't want that influence in the Levant as well.
I know. This is you guys.
You guys are so stupid. If you let only.
They kicked me.
Everyone. Anyways, yeah, Steph was not just something, but
I just don't.
I thought I made some wonderful cut.
S1 once it goes to the Senate. So right now, since it's still in committee in the Senate, I think it's still called HR 1, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. If anybody has,
you have to judge someone favorably. And literally what that means is that before you make a action or seem to be your head even to be angry at somebody for anything, and that includes that your kid, your wife, your business partner, it takes effect if you're in a business transaction. You have to think, what's the worst possible thing that might happen to them that I'm not considering, and therefore I should be mad at them, and they're really not the blame. You give them the benefit of the doubt every time. That's the formal and rigorous one. And the second thing I want to tell you is that the most famous rabbi, Thomas Mishnah, who was murdered for being Jewish by the Romans, Rabbi Yisrael, his famous saying was that Zahafta L'Orecha K'Nocha, Zeh Kol Nova Torah, that to love your fellow